Good morning, sluts. It's time for Perhaps It's You. Hello, friends and enemies. Welcome. It's Perhaps It's You.
It's your favorite unofficial Unsolved Mysteries rewatch podcast.
Except we're not talking about Unsolved Mysteries today. We have a very special episode for you that I'm going to pretend the listeners demanded.
They sort of did. They did vote for this.
Yeah, we did a vote. Our patrons spoke, and they said that they wanted us to put our energy. They used their money to tell us to put our energy into a Q&A episode.
Q&A. It's been a while since we've done one of these. So
I kind of thought no one was interested.
Same.
And no one had any questions and no one cared. But it turns out people did have questions. So we've decided to combine that with a little, like a super duper snack time.
Super duper. We have so many seasonal snacks in front of us.
Fall-themed snack time. So we're going to do some snack time and answer some questions and not talk about Unsolved Mysteries. And it's actually going to be fun. And I'm Liz. That's Samantha.
Oh, yeah. We haven't introduced ourselves. It's come to our attention that some people don't know, can't tell us apart, or don't know who we are. They just know that one of us has blonde hair, one of us has black hair, and they don't know which is which.
And I say you have to buy the zine to find out.
Yeah, I think this is just going to be a mystery that lives on.
I kind of like it.
Some mysteries remain unsolved, folks. I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's no update on this one. Who knows which one of us? Sometimes I had, like, green hair. I had colorful I can't talk today.
Blangs.
I had colorful blangs.
Well, you just gave it away. Because I've never had colorful bangs. Although, you didn't say your name. Well, you did.
But no one would necessarily know who that was, would they?
Context clues. Maybe not.
Okay, whatever. Did I solve the mystery? Did I finally solve a mystery on this show? Is that what we're learning?
The mystery of who we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the deepest.
What is the nature of self?
That's
anyway?
the deepest. That's the true mystery. It's like when someone did ask about our favorite mysteries, and you ended up saying the sea, and I said death or something, and that's probably not what people.
Did I say the sea?
Yeah, we're like the depths of the ocean.
Oh, I thought I answered mysterious sounds, of which some of them come from the sea.
Okay, maybe that was it.
That's
and then I
the sea. Although that is a mystery. I mean,
I don't see that as a silly answer at all. There's a lot of mysterious shit in the sea.
It's true.
We don't know what is down there, really. It's kind of terrifying.
In a way.
It's intriguing and scary, and I don't know. I assume that's why every kid, when I was a kid, we all wanted to be marine biologists.
Right. My new mystery, I don't know if it's my favorite, but my new mystery that I want to solve is from our last episode with the doppelgangers.
Oh, yeah, the two brothers.
I have to know if they...
Well, okay, I'm assuming they were half-brothers, but we don't actually know. The guy that met his own doppelganger.
Yes. I do. I really like your theory about that mystery.
I am leaning towards there was a second family.
Had a second family.
I think that was pretty easy to do in the 40s.
True.
Particularly if you had an excuse of why you would be traveling for work or something like that.
Sure, you were a bone salesman or something.
Yes. A traveling bone salesman going from door to door. Ma'am, can I interest you in any fine bones?
Yeah, exactly.
And then they would probably bone, and it was like a whole thing.
Well, yeah.
Okay, so do you want to do one snack first, and then...
Sure, what do you want to start with? Do you want to start with your most anticipated snack?
Yes, my most anticipated snack. Most of these are pumpkin spice flavored items, but we have these things that are like a Target-only brand. What are these called?
This is Favorite Day, that's the Target brand, and they're apple caramel crunch clusters, and it says pretzels flavored with apple, caramel, and milk chocolate.
I bought these a couple days ago, and
There's a lot of caramel in these.
It was very hard for me not to eat it already because I really love like chocolate covered pretzels.
You cannot even see the pretzel.
Oh wow, yeah, there's a lot of caramel. Okay, our teeth are gonna be so rotten after this episode.
My teeth are just gonna fall out.
That's the only problem.
Did we mention that these are all seasonal fall snacks?
Yes, we're doing like a fall snack time, super duper time. So let's try these caramel cluster things. Okay, I kind of love it.
You have to really like caramel.
Mm-hmm. Which I do.
There's the pretzel to everything else ratio.
Could use more pretzel. Also, the pretzel is a little stale.
Little light on the apple.
Yeah.
I'm not getting much apple, but I do like it.
The connection to fall is tenuous.
There's just a hint of apple. It could be more apple forward, in my opinion.
I think they could have put more pretzel in it. And also not let the pretzels go bad. But maybe that's what you do when pretzels go bad, is you turn them into clusters.
You smother them with caramel and chocolate. I mean, it's good.
I definitely feel like Rochelle could make these better.
Yeah.
Rochelle, friend of the pod, our resident history nerd.
How would you get the apple flavor in there?
Maybe we can buy apple flavored caramel. I don't know. That's something for her to work on. Last night, for Samantha's book club, we did a viewing of the Beanie Baby doc, Beanie Mania. And
normal thing to do on a Saturday night.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I want to do on Saturday night.
And we read a book. I don't know if we've talked about this in the show, but we read a book called The Beanie Baby Bubble, which is about the Beanie Baby craze and how it was a bubble. It was like the housing bubble, like any kind of like market thing. Secondary market bubble type thing. I don't really understand economics, but it was very fascinating, the book. And shortly after that book came out, this HBO documentary came out, and
we've been watching to watch it all together.
Yeah, so we got together and did that last night. Had so many snacks.
The reason I thought of it is because Rochelle made these amazing cookies that are like the tie, the famous
the hang tags.
Beanie Baby tag, the red heart that says TY on it, and she made cookies like that.
They were delicious.
And what did you think of the documentary, actually? We might as well just do a little...
I really liked it.
It was fun.
It was fun. There was things in the documentary that weren't in the book and vice versa. So honestly, the book was really good. I definitely would recommend it. And as far as like a whole experience, reading the book and then seeing the documentary was really fun. It really brought me back to my childhood. We never got like into the beanie craze, but we did have a lot of Beanie Babies. But we like actually played with them as toys. Like my family never thought that they would be any kind of collectible, or
you weren't keeping them in those lucite boxes. Yeah.
We always made jokes about how we were going to do that, but like I don't know, we just didn't have like the money or the time. My mom was a single mom. We couldn't be outside of a Hallmark store at 4 a.m. waiting to buy Beanie Babies, right? Like we just got whatever ones we found, and then we actually like all the Beanie Babies we still have. We took the tags off and actually played with them, but I remember that time very vividly, and we obviously had beanies, so it was fun.
It's a little time capsule. You get to see some real 90s outfits, and
there's
a lot of news footage.
There's a lot of so after reading the book, you realize that there's like some names that you recognize that were like big in the beanie craze. Was the woman that made that magazine that got sued by Ty. There was these like core group of moms that like kicked off the whole thing. They were from the Chicago area,
Naperville, Illinois.
Yeah, and so
rich people with too much time on their hands coming to you from Naperville, Illinois.
So you meet these people in the documentary that you read about in the book. So that was really an enjoyable experience. I liked it. What did you think?
I think I enjoyed it less than the book. I still think it's worth watching. I mean, it's definitely a less time commitment, obviously. There's more about Ty himself in the book and what his strategy too.
I feel like the documentary kind of glossed over some of the way he really like strategized. I mean, it covered it sort of, but the book goes into more detail about his like artificial scarcity tactics and the whole retiring beanies and how that drove the craze and kind of drove the bubble. So yeah, there's definitely more detail in the book.
I think because the documentary didn't get to interview Ty, it focused pretty much almost exclusively on these moms and like how they sort of led the craze.
Which is interesting in its own right.
Yeah, it's definitely worth watching. If you have HBO anyway, like you might as well watch it because... it's just this like little weird window of time.
You see a lot of beanies too, which is fun.
Yeah,
where it's like, oh, I had that one. What I liked about the book was they got into like the different iterations of beanies too, and how some of them became super valuable, like the original bears that had the weird face, or like there was like some
like they would change colors of things.
Yeah, they would like do a run of beanies and decide they didn't like it, and then they would because Ty was like kind of manic about how like he had to lord over every detail, and so they would do a first edition run of a beanie and then decide he would come in and decide he wanted it, I don't know, purple instead of blue, and then suddenly the blue ones were super sought after and super valuable. So there was more interesting details like that in the book.
I definitely had the octopus Inky.
Did you have the original?
I had the original one that was brown. They changed it to pink later. But me and my friend Sarah were really into squids. in middle school, as you are.
Okay, sure.
That was like our favorite animal. It's still my favorite animal, honestly. They're just mysterious and weird. Anyway, so she got me the Inky, the octopus that was brown, which would have been really yeah, but of course I took the tag off of it. I played with it.
Right.
The eyes were like all worn away.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I don't still have that because I loved that Inky.
I'm sure all of our beanies are in a tote at my mom's house somewhere.
I want you to go find the end.
I do have the end bear, which was
supposed to be the last one.
That was another like gimmick that he did in '99, which is announced that it was on the decline, and so suddenly Ty announced that he was gonna stop production of beanies, and they made this final beanie, and it was a bear that was black, and it was called just the end. And
it's
had
so
that
ominous and odd.
It's very weird, and yeah, I have one.
Also, it's
somewhere.
like leading up to Y2K, where people like honestly did think
the world was going to end.
Yeah, so funny.
There's a discussion in the book, and I don't remember the other name suggestions. The end was not like right. That was not what they were going to call it. They were going to call it something else, and then ended on the end.
Goodbye or something.
Yeah, but.
The farewell bear. I don't know. It was a cute, fun time. And
should we talk about the seasonal snacks we had last night, because we had some cookies?
Oh, that's
that
true.
Were good.
Okay, so we also made some cookies so we could try them. We made these I keep doing that. Frankenberry and Count Chocula cookies. They're like those roll cookies.
Yeah,
the
little cutouts. Yeah.
Are those Pillsbury? Who makes those?
Maybe Pillsbury.
Well, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, they're both. I feel like they're really common around Christmas time. Yeah, and they have the little like painted
shape in the center of it.
Yeah. They really did taste like cereal. I didn't love them, but they were.
It's an interesting novelty, I guess. I was surprised how much they taste like the cereal. So if you really like either of those cereals, then you can eat it in cookie form. Though everybody was like, this is weird because it's a cookie, but I feel like I'm eating cereal.
It smelled, especially the Frankenberry, smelled strongly of the cereal. So it was an interesting experience.
And then we also had, I think this is a Toll House thing.
I think it was a pumpkin pie white chocolate chip cookie.
Yes. Oh, no, it was supposed to be cream cheese frosting was the chip. But, but guess what? No.
It didn't really taste like cream cheese.
No, I didn't. Those were fine. Kind of lackluster.
Okay, so the package said, not that this would have stopped me if it didn't, but it said you could eat it raw or cooked. And so we tried it raw. And I liked the raw. I preferred it raw than cooked.
That sounded really dirty, but I did.
Someone isolate that audio.
No, please do not. Please do not.
Liz saying I liked it raw.
No, if you do that, you're not allowed to listen to this podcast anymore. I'm gonna come to your house and I'm gonna tell your mom. I did prefer the raw dough over the cooked cookie. Yeah, but you know what? Better. I feel like that's always true.
It could have been how we cooked it, though, because they had different cook times, but we put them in the oven together because we were lazy. And so I don't think that one got cooked long enough. So
Mac thought we had cooked it too long.
Well, we put it back in the oven because we thought it wasn't done yet, and that probably just fucked it up.
I don't know. I felt like it could have used more spice or maybe a chocolate chip, or it was lacking, I thought.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Okay, so let's answer a question now. So we had asked, I think these are all going to come from our Patreon, so thank you to them always. This show literally wouldn't exist without them. We would have stopped years ago. We're going to start off with the sweetest question I've ever heard from listener Alex. What can we do to make y'all's job easier?
That is extremely sweet.
I love PIY so much. I know from experience how hard it can be to keep up a podcasting schedule. But hearing your voices means so much to me that I will do anything to help.
Wow.
Anything, Alex? Are you sure?
If you are a patron and you're wondering about this, just know that you're already going above and beyond because you're giving us your money. And like Liz said, we would not be doing this. Like, I would not fund this myself.
No. We did when we started and we were enthusiastic. We got some recording equipment and paid for the WordPress and whatever. But at this point, we definitely need the patrons so that we're not bleeding ourselves.
Yeah, and even a small operation has expenses.
There's just weird costs.
I mean, yeah, there's hosting fees and equipment and whatever.
We had to get a business license, just bullshit like that.
Yeah, so you're already going above and beyond to support us, which we really appreciate. If you and you can support us in other ways too. I mean, just your
5-star reviews, definitely.
Feedback. Yes, 5-star reviews really.
We love hearing from you. We love it when people send us snacks. That's also not really necessary, but we do appreciate it.
If you want, okay, so again, this is not necessary, but we do have an address on our website if you wanted to send us something.
If you want to send us a card or whatever. The only place that sponsors us and ever will sponsor us is, I swear, is Repod. So download that, and you can leave comments on individual episodes and make them feel like they spent their money well.
Yeah, like just positive. If you interact with us on our social medias or our Facebook groups,
we need those like little ego boosts, so it doesn't feel like we're just talking into the void.
Yes,
because we wouldn't keep. We're doing it at this point really for you guys. So if it's no one is listening, or if it's literally just my mom, like,
we're probably gonna stop.
I'll call her.
Yeah,
you know?
Liz and I can talk to each other anytime we want. That's not.
We don't actually have to record it, as it turns out.
We don't need our friendship to be work.
Yeah, it is weird that we did that to ourselves.
So really,
but it's worked out for the most part well.
So yeah, really, any positive feedback helps us keep going.
And someone last night was like, well, because we were talking about the Boy Meets World rewatch podcast, and someone was like, there must gotta be a lot of money in these rewatch podcasts, and we were both like, let me tell you, there is not. No. Well, obviously, if you're already famous, people want to know what you have to say. If Robert Stack had a rewatch podcast, I'm sure that would be lit. But
right.
Okay, this next question is for you.
Okay.
This is also from listener Alex. What is Travis like? Should we have a voice crush on him too?
I mean, I like his voice. I don't know if I've ever heard it recorded, so I'm not sure. I can't really speak to that. If you would have a voice crush on him,
I mean, that's a personal preference. You can't. Samantha's like, I do, but then again, she married him.
Right. So of course,
is she a
if
reliable
I
source?
hated his voice, that would probably be pretty weird.
That would be hard.
It'd be hard to live with someone whose voice you hated.
Yeah, I don't think that would work.
What is he like? Well, he is a mechanic. He likes to build things. His hobbies include woodworking,
watching really long documentaries about how bridges were made.
He loves watching what I consider boring TV, which is like anything public access. Nova. He has, I swear, I've seen every Nova. He loves that show, How It's Made.
Yeah.
Actually, his favorite TV show, which always makes people laugh because they assume he's just like I don't know, maybe because he's a mechanic, that he's like a manly man, but his favorite TV show is Project Runway. And
that makes sense.
And we are currently watching the new, like Heidi and Tim Gunn show on Amazon, Making the Cut, which I don't like as much as Project Runway. He really likes it.
So he likes those type of competition shows. Like he likes Top
competition
Chef
shows. He loves any kind of competition cooking show.
That makes sense.
Yeah, he just works he's workaholic. He loves to work all the time, which is kind of a trait of a lot of mechanics. So he's always fixing cars and lawnmowers from the neighbors.
I know that he's real, but
yeah, I think
he's always at work.
It is funny because I mean, part of this is a result of how far away I live, but this is you've probably not seen him very often.
I've seen him
because he is always
times. He's always at work,
always working, which is what he wants to be doing, so it's fine. He likes to be busy.
Can't relate.
Yeah, same.
Okay, what should we snack on next?
I really want to try these Dunkin' Donuts goldfish.
Yeah, I'm not really sure why Dunkin' Donuts had to come into this equation, but they're...
Well, I first saw these on the Instagram account Candy Hunting.
Yeah, same.
Which this is pumpkin spice graham cracker donut goldfish.
There's a lot going on.
So
just to make some little sweet...
I didn't need that many. I poured too many on my plate.
Well, if you don't eat any, then I'll have to eat them all.
Okay, these are really good.
These are... For some reason, it weirds me out. You know how a cheese goldfish is, like, round on both sides? And this has one flat side.
These are really good. I do feel like... I have a complaint about pumpkin spice, which is, like, I feel like they hold back on the spice.
Yeah, definitely.
And maybe that's just because, like, maybe a lot of people... Maybe that would be controversial, maybe be polarizing. But I want more spice a lot of times. And that's true for these, but they're still really good.
These taste like Teddy Grahams.
A little bit.
That's what it reminds me of.
And I think that's why I want more, like, spice.
Yeah.
Because that would differentiate them from Teddy Grahams. But, I mean, I like a Teddy Graham, so...
These are pretty good. Not bad.
Yeah, I enjoy these.
I appreciate this purchase. Okay, now there's a question for me. What was Liz's favorite class in art school? I did go to art school.
This is a good question.
I went at Illinois Wesleyan University in Bloomington, Illinois, which no longer has an art school.
Okay.
So you cannot follow in my footsteps. So It's really probably for... It makes me very sad in a way, but it's also like, I understand why no one wants to spend all that money to do that.
Sure. It is a lot of money.
Yeah. What's my favorite class? I mean, I concentrated in painting, and I still paint. And so I guess that is kind of a boring answer. I had to also, you had to take, you know, like other classes outside of your concentration, and I managed to burn my face with acid during my printmaking class. Yes.
Oh my God. Like, so how serious was this?
I mean, you're looking at my face. I mean, it's fine.
It doesn't
it's
look
fine.
Burned off, but
I was doing an etching, and what you do for that is there's like metal, it has a like top coating, and then you scratch what you want your image to be into that coat, and then you put it in acid, and the acid eats away at the scratched part, right? And it goes into the metal, and then you can use that to print. And it being an art department, we were taking things in and out of acid with literally a plastic fork or knife from the Starbucks.
Oh God, that doesn't seem strong enough for this.
No, it broke. And
then it just flung it at your face? I'm imagining how this broke, and it always like springs.
You know, I'm like lifting the piece of metal plate out of the acid, and it broke. And then it fell back into the acid bath and splashed. And there was a like eye wash thing in the room, so I like, you know, washed it off. And then there was like an emergency phone thing. But that just connected to like the operator desk at my school, which was just some student... You know, and I was like, I just had an accident in the art department with the acid. And like, of course, God. Like that, like everybody's like, what? But then that person called like the police, the fire department, and like firemen came like running in to clean up the acid. And they were like, where's the acid? And I was like, on my face.
Oh my God.
And they were just like not understanding what had happened. It was this like huge whatever. But basically they took me to the hospital and then just had me put my face in a sink for a really long time, and that was it.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you didn't suffer any lasting.
But I did reach up after it splashed, and I could feel my skin like receding where the splash was. Yeah. And I was like the only person in that class that ever wore goggles. Like, believe it or not, I took it the most seriously of anyone in there. So thank Christ for that. And I didn't go to class the next day after that happened. And my teacher was honestly mad.
You're like, I got splashed by acid because you were having us use flimsy ass
and she told me
plastic cutlery.
She told me that I must have sensitive skin.
What?
And then when it was the end of the semester, I had to clean up the acid. I'm the one that had to pour it like into this bottle and stuff. Oh my God. And when I made a face, when she told me that was what I had to do, I like, you know, whatever. I like reacted, and she said, Liz, enthusiastic cleanup is part of your final grade.
Wow, what a bitch.
I know!
What a bitch.
And she also taught drawing.
She was mad because you had an accident in her class. Partially her fault. She should have given you stronger implements.
She probably
that made her look bad.
Yeah, exactly. And she was also our drawing instructor. She taught printmaking and drawing. And I was originally going to be a drawing concentration. And after that,
Is that what made you change?
I switched to painting. I also added a double major with English because I was like, fuck this. But I was on I probably would have honestly left, but I was on scholarship. I had an art scholarship.
Okay.
So I had to have an art major.
Component,
yeah.
Wow, that's very interesting.
Oh, good times. But yeah, anyway, it was fine. I think what people don't realize about... So this was at like a small liberal arts university that had there's a school of nursing and a school of music and, you know, whatever. Like, studying art isn't necessarily hard, but at that school it was super time consuming. Like,
oh sure, I mean, yeah, it's probably a lot of work.
It was just a lot of for the first couple years after you weren't deciding like whatever you wanted to do, and it was a little more up to you. Like, to make like a gigantic drawing in like 2 days, you're kind of like, well, I guess you
also
not
have to come up with an idea, yeah, which is not something that just happens instantly.
Yeah, it was, you know, whatever. I've got a lot of thoughts and feels, but we'll just stick with that acid story. Okay, what should we eat next?
Maybe a Kit Kat?
Sure. So which kind do you want?
I want to try the pumpkin pie Kit Kat.
Okay, sounds great. I can't remember if we've had these before or not.
I'm gonna throw it at you.
got it. I couldn't remember. We've tried a bunch of novelty Kit Kats on this show.
I probably had this one before.
I couldn't remember. It's just like the pumpkin spice flavored cream. There's no chocolate. I really wish they would do flavors with chocolate, personally.
Okay, this one, good spice.
Okay, this is lovely. This is very fall-y.
The spice is prominent in this flavor, which is what I want.
It kind of smells like a candle, but it tastes good.
This is delicious. I love these. 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I give this 5 out of 5 Robert Stacks for sure.
So good.
Really nice. You should give those to your trick-or-treaters, or just eat them all yourself.
Yep. You could give your... Don't the Witch's Brew ones... Aren't those just like regular Kit Kats?
No, those ones are the green ones.
Oh, that's right.
I think they do make just regular ones.
The trick-or-treaters get the regular Kit Kats.
You can give them regular Kit Kats and keep those ones for yourself.
I feel like kids don't really want this, do they?
I have no idea. I have no idea what
do
kids
kids want pumpkin pie spice Kit
Kids,
Kats?
what do you want? They probably just want Reese's Pieces Cups, right?
I would assume so.
Or, I'm sorry,
Those
the
little
Reese's Cups.
Those little gummy hamburgers.
Yeah, those are fun. They're always so hard, though.
I only ever got those in my trick-or-treating. Like, where do you even find those?
I have no idea. Last night I referred to a gummy as supple, and it clearly really bothered Samantha.
It's a little sexual as a way to describe a gummy.
I just meant that it's like, sometimes they're like too hard.
Yes.
And they're too chewy.
I agree that
it was like
gummies,
soft and stretchy and like...
Someone brought gummy fighter planes, which is very funny as a concept, to the movie night, and
they were delish.
Really good.
They're just like those
good
candies.
Gummy texture. It was like, yeah.
I just couldn't think of a better word to describe the like
supple.
Yeah, I said they were supple. I said this is gonna sound creepy, but these are supple.
It does sound creepy, and I feel like supple is a little bit like moist. It's one of those words to me. I don't know. And as a way to describe a gummy candy, I don't know that I'm fully comfortable with it. But
I stand by. I still can't think of a better word to describe what I mean.
It's not a bad way to describe them, but
it's just extremely off-putting.
It's a little off-putting, yes, but they were tasty.
Okay, listener Mike has asked, can you outline your witchy paths a bit?
No, because I don't have one.
Yeah.
We give off a vibe of witchiness, or like we
talk about
witches a lot, and I admire witches. I like the whole thing, but I am not spiritual, so I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not personally a witch.
I consider myself a fan.
Yeah, supporter for sure.
Yeah, and I think this podcast and living in what is informally known as the Witch District of Minneapolis definitely inspired me to learn more about it. Mm-hmm. And I've gone to some classes at a store called The Future to learn about like sigils and other things. And I think that it's all really interesting and like valuable. And I see a value in it and I respect it. But yeah, I just don't have a spiritual life. So
no.
I'm not a practicing witch. I think like the lore is really interesting. And I guess we celebrate the seasons in our own way. Maybe that's the closest we get.
Sure.
But, yeah, I'm not actually a witch. I just have a print that says Hex the Patriarchy by my front door. That's
Which is a sentiment we can all get behind, witch or not.
Being an asset to your village and a horror to the establishment is something I absolutely respect, but is just really not a part of my life.
Yeah, I don't have any kind of practice.
Yeah, no.
Of any kind, witch or otherwise. So
I mean, before the pandemic, I was going to yoga classes pretty regularly for like a decade. Did I ever do yoga at home? No. I'm just not good at incorporating meditation or any of that kind of stuff into my regular like daily life, my home life.
Same.
Like, I will go and, like, I took a class on, like, deadly plants at the witch store and, like, their uses in herbal medicine and stuff. And I was like, wow, this is so interesting. But it's not like I'm not going to, like, grow poisonous plants and, make herbal medicine. I was just like, this is fascinating. And then
Didn't we listen to a talk about, like, gardening by the moon phases?
Yeah.
Or something?
Yeah.
I love it. I'm not going to do it, but I love it.
I feel like I have enough trouble trying to just, like, fit things into the schedule of my life that I don't want to also start thinking about fitting it into the schedule of the moon.
Yeah.
But I do think it's cool. And if that, like, helps you you know, organize your time and your priorities. And I think a lot of witchcraft, like, to just really oversimplify it, comes down to just like admitting what you want and like being honest with yourself.
Sure.
And that seems very valuable to me.
Yeah.
And a lot of it, yeah, if you're like being very simplistic, it's like, well, this is like meditation with props, or this is like journaling, or this is like these other valuable things. So I think that's cool, but yeah, sorry. We're not witches. That's why we had to bring in witches to do the
protection spell.
Yeah.
Yeah, we needed to outsource that to some professionals.
Okay, this one is asking us which one of us has black hair. Too bad, you'll never know. Listener Mike asks again, what are your favorite Halloween things to do?
Oh, okay. I mean, we love a pumpkin patch.
Yes, we love all the wholesome fall activities. So, like, picking apples, going to get your pumpkins.
We were on a cemetery tour literally right before this.
Yeah, we went on a trolley tour of Lakewood Cemetery here in Minneapolis, which is a super lovely way to start a day.
It's beautiful. Honestly, the weather was perfect.
It's a beautiful day.
We got to sit on a trolley and just see some beautiful grave vistas.
They have this amazing chapel there. If you are in the area and you've never been, I would definitely recommend, even if you don't really care about cemeteries, going and checking out this chapel. We learned a lot about it today, and I thought it was really interesting.
I've been there a couple times, and none of the tours have ever gone into so much detail about this chapel, and I don't know why, because it has such a fascinating history, and it's honestly breathtaking.
It's so beautiful. The dome of it inside is completely mosaic.
Made in Italy. She said that the mosaic tiles are the size of a fingernail, and there's like over 1 billion of them.
There is made by the same artisans that worked on like the Vatican.
Yeah.
Like it's honestly so gorgeous, and it's so well made that even though it's like more than 100 years old, they've never had to restore it.
No.
And it's so pretty. But the whole cemetery is really, really nice. And I'm gonna look into getting my ashes interned there. So
it's beautiful. There's a lake, hence Lakewood.
Yeah.
And it's so big that these tours, they rent trolleys and drive you around
and tell you
the fall colors are so beautiful. I think we're gonna go back for the fall color celebration.
What we really don't do is like, we've never gone to a haunted house.
I don't like a haunted house. Hate them.
We don't do any of the more like scarier like things where people pop out at you, or like we love a ghost tour, we love a cemetery tour, we like
a pumpkin patch. We go to this is a traveling thing, so maybe there's one near you. There at the Minnesota Zoo, they do this thing called a jack-o'-lantern spectacular, which is like
thousands of jack-o'-lanterns.
They create this whole like, it's outdoors and it's on their like zoo trail, and they transform it with all these jack-o'-lanterns. There's a theme every year. We go to that. We've gone to that for like, I don't know, 3 years running.
Yeah, that's super cool.
Get some hot cider and walk. Anything where I can get some hot cider, I can walk around, I can feel some fall vibes, I can maybe be outside if it's warm enough, and anything that involves that, I will do it. We go to Anoka. We've gone to Anoka a couple times, which is the Halloween capital of the world.
They invented trick-or-treating.
They claim to have invented trick-or-treating. Sure. I think a couple cities claim that. But
I'm going to give it to them because they're the ones near us.
Yes, same.
So sometimes we go there. Though I don't think they do like a big Halloween celebration, really, which is funny.
They have a parade. We've never gone to that. We've gone like just, I mean, it's not like Halloween specific always. Just to like go antiquing or whatever.
Go feel the vibes.
Yeah.
The other day you were saying that you heard someone in England be like, why are people in America so into fall?
Yes.
And I was like, you don't understand our like happiness at temperate weather. I mean, I'm sure if you live in like California, you don't care so much, but
maybe not.
The parts of the year in Minnesota where it's not boiling hot or freezing cold need to be celebrated.
Yeah. And I don't know.
It's such a beautiful time.
Something about like, it's been a long hot summer, and now like you can feel like there's a cool breeze. You can put on a sweater, drink something delicious. The food is so good. You know what I mean? Like
vestige before we have like 6 months of snow. So this is really our busy social time, and then we'll be like, okay, see you never.
Hibernate for the winter.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love all that stuff. They used to do movies in Soldiers and Pioneers Cemetery, and that literally was my favorite thing, but they haven't done that recently.
Yeah, since COVID, they don't do as many events. I really like Soldiers and Pioneers, going to some of their like talks and things.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, we do those like all year, so I don't know if that's like Halloween specific. But
We try to do as many of these things as we can, anytime, but obviously they have more of the types of things. Also, that's the other thing, is they have more of the types of things we're interested in this September or October.
Yeah.
Because they think that's when people want to go on a ghost tour, but literally...
I will go anytime.
Yeah.
Year.
March, sure. Great. June, love it. One of my favorite things, Samantha unfortunately didn't get to go to this, was the Alexander Ramsey House in St. Paul did a Victorian-style seance one year.
Yes.
But they've been shut for COVID this entire time, so I don't know if that'll ever...
reopen or do that again?
I have no idea what's going on over there. So sad. Okay. Next question. Will you be able to make it to the Mothman Festival this year? No. Not happening, sorry.
I don't know if we'll ever go to the Mothman Festival.
It's
honestly, we have to drive there. I can't sit in a car that long.
It's going to be very inconvenient for us. I guess maybe we could fly into somewhere nearby and run. It's like a whole production.
Yeah, then we'd have to rent a car. I don't know.
Yeah.
We were all prepared to go before the pandemic, and then...
That's a lot of driving for me. I feel like I was maybe a little optimistic about us getting there.
Same.
And then, we had to call off our plans. And the more I thought about it, I was like, I don't really like driving for like an hour.
Well, I have a bad back. I can't sit in a car for that long. I mean, I could theoretically medicate myself, but like, I don't know. I don't know why I thought I could ever do that, because I couldn't. So we had a whole plan to do like a road trip. It was going to be really fun, but yeah, then their plans got canceled because of COVID. And as much as I'd love to go,
even makes sense. Well, and also I called the historic hotel, and they wanted like $1,000
obscene amount of money to stay there.
And
you were like, "Oh, I'll need to discuss this with my business partner. Thank you."
Yeah, which I should have just been like, "Yeah, not gonna happen, lady." Which I'm sure she knew. Whatever. And that's fine if people have that, but we do not really have that kind of.
No,
we're gonna need some more serious podcasts before we're making it to the Mothman Festival. I think is my point.
Yeah, it's just not going to happen.
I don't know.
I'd love the idea of going.
It seems really fun, and if we were closer, I think we totally would, but...
And I don't know. I don't know. I feel like it also would have been more fun in a pre-pandemic world. I don't know, somehow.
Yeah, maybe the moment has passed.
So... probably not, unfortunately.
Maybe it's not what it was. Also,
if you go to the Mothman Festival, though, send me a t-shirt, because I really want a t-shirt from the Mothman Festival.
Yeah, that would be amazing. I would love that as well.
Unisex large.
I'll take the biggest one they got, and I'll sleep in it. That sounds great.
But, yeah, I don't think we'll ever go ourselves.
That's sad, but probably true.
Yeah, I don't,
Also, when they called it off, like, first year of COVID, like, height of COVID, I just saw so many comments of people being like... COVID isn't real. Why would you do this, Mothman Festival? And I don't know why I expected more.
Did that sour you a little bit?
It did!
Yeah,
even though these are people going to the Mothman Festival.
Yeah.
It turns out a bunch of, like, conspiracy theorists didn't believe in COVID. And then I was like, well, maybe actually I don't want to go all that way to meet you.
Yeah, because they probably aren't vaccinated. And
right. So it did maybe leave a slightly bad taste in my mouth.
Damn. Yeah.
Even though obviously Mothman is real. They're right about that part. But Mothman is real, and also COVID is real.
I do really want our picture in front of that statue.
I know.
Both sides of it, but...
No. If you have like a ton of money and you want to send it to us so that we can fly down there, rent a car, go get our picture taken in front of the Mothman statue.
Question number one, how can you support us? Fund our Mothman Festival trip.
Yeah, because, there's some budgetary restraints.
Yeah.
I'm not sure we really budgeted that out.
Yeah.
We might have been thinking a little
Should
high.
we have another snack?
Yeah, what should we have?
I think we should have one of these Milano pumpkin spice.
Oh my god, yes. I love a Milano. The texture of those cookies. Which is your favorite flavor?
I like the OG.
I really like the raspberry, but I'm kind of a slut for raspberry things.
This is pumpkin spice, of course.
Yeah, as everything has to be. And as white women, we're forced to eat this. When it's fall, you might not know this, when it's fall, white women are required to only eat
pumpkin spice
flavored items.
There's some good spice in this too.
Okay, this is pretty good. Sorry to be chewing right into the mic. Oh my god.
Wow, okay, actually this is delicious. This tastes a lot like the Kit Kat, actually.
Yeah, this is nice. I'm surprised by how much I like this. Even though I love a Milano. Do you still think of these as, like, kind of fancy cookies? Like, something in my mind is like, ooh, Pepperidge Farm. Even though they make goldfish, I don't know.
Yes.
Same. Yeah, I love these. 15 distinctive cookies.
10 out of 10 on the pumpkin spice Milano too.
So fancy.
Really good.
I really appreciate that you still get chocolate in here, even though you get it's not just pumpkin spice. And the combo to me is lovely. These are really fucking good. You should try these. That is, $4 or whatever, well spent. Okay. Favorite teas. I feel like this question is probably more for me because I brought up that tea. I had a tea advent calendar that one year. And that was pretty good. I'm trying to find the name of this new favorite tea. But you know what I'm really looking forward to is Trader Joe's. If there's a Trader Joe's by you, they make a green tea candy cane tea, like mint tea. And it is so good. And it's, it's like 30 bags for $4. Super cheap.
Yeah.
I always buy like 6 of those and then drink that until I just ran out from last year. So now I need to restock. That's one of my favorites. That's delicious. And now I can't find, oh, here it is. Our friend Amber recently sent me some tea because she found out I can't have caffeine. So she sent me this rooibos tea. And I do not know how to say the name of this company. So I'm just going to spell it. IKAATI.com. They have a tea called Nectar Sun.
Ooh.
This nourishing rooibos blend is highlighted with succulent peach and refreshing hibiscus. Okay, this is unlike the Trader Joe's item. This is not a budget item. This is a $20 box of tea. It's currently sold out, apparently. $20 for 12 hand-tied pouches. This tea is delicious.
It would be a good gift.
Yes.
For someone
who I don't know,
is
me.
a tea lover.
For me,
maybe
possibly.
They should send you some.
No, it is. And it comes in like a really nice box and blah, blah. So I would say if you, want to treat yourself, get this. If you want to stock up on tea, Trader Joe's also has a great fall herbal tea.
I was going to ask you what the fall one is.
Because
you were mentioning that you wanted that and it's not out yet.
It has a fox wearing a scarf and holding a mug on the car. It's like Harvest Blend or something.
Okay. My favorite seasonal Trader Joe's item is the spiced cider.
Yeah, so good.
I love me some of that spiced cider. So I got to go see if that's out yet.
Yeah.
And, of course, the cranberry wine.
Oh, we have some of that. If you want some, there's some in the fridge right now.
I'm looking at the bottle of this in the corner.
Okay, listener Kate wants an update on the pod donkey.
Oh.
So what's Alfie up to, Samantha?
Eating grass. No, actually, he's doing really good. He was very shy, and he still is. I don't know. I mean, we don't know what his past was. He came from a rescue who got him from an auction, so who knows. But he's shy when it comes to strangers. However, because where they live, their little pen butts up against the road, some of our neighbors have started routinely stopping on their walks and bringing them carrots.
Oh my God.
In particular, there's this one guy who will bring literally a bag of carrots. And once I witnessed him, we have their pasture open. So they're all like, sometimes they're like way out there. And I once witnessed him waving the bag of carrots in the air. And then the horse and the donkey literally ran.
He's like controlling them.
From the back of, look, the way to a donkey's heart. I mean, if you'd see this donkey, he's about as wide as he is tall. The way to a donkey's heart is through his stomach.
That's
so
the same with me.
I don't know his name. He's just a friendly neighbor. We call him Carrot Guy because, yeah, he brings carrots on his walks, feeds them. So he's really warming up to strangers, I think, because people stop and visit him.
He's realizing strangers might have food.
Well, yeah, that's really the thing. If you don't have food, he's kind
of like, why are you wasting my time? I mean,
yeah,
same.
He's opened up. He's as cute as ever. I don't know. Yeah, he eats grass. That's really his whole life.
Eats grass.
Is eating. Going from one meal to another is really his whole life.
That's the life. That's the life. Do you think you'll get a second donkey?
I would love to get a second donkey, but they're a little challenging. I mentioned his weight, and that is like kind of a funny thing to say, but it's hard to manage a donkey's weight. They're evolutionarily designed to get as much nutrition out of what they eat as possible, so they could literally live off of straw. Like, you can feed your donkey straw, which has like zero nutrition whatsoever, and they could happily live off of it. And they gain weight really easily. So keeping a donkey with a horse is a little bit hard because like controlling his weight has been a challenge. And the thought of adding a second donkey that I have to constantly worry about these things is a little bit, I don't know if I'm up for it, but I think he would like a donkey friend. So maybe someday we'll get another one. They're two peas in a pod, that horse and that donkey. They love each other so much. Cute. But the horse is much older than the donkey. So at some point we will have to get another friend for the donkey because he's like 8 and the horse is like 20. So
do you think we could put a cart on Alfie and have him pull like a load of pumpkins?
I would love that. At the moment, that someone would get injured if we attempted such a thing. But you know, maybe if I get my act together and actually train him to do something useful, like pull a cart, we could fill it with pumpkins. And wouldn't that just be lovely?
I'm just picturing, I think Stillwater has some sort of like fall time parade, and I'm picturing us in the parade
with the donkey
being pulled by Alfie. It's just sitting on a giant pumpkin. Yeah,
I love that.
Like one of those state fair pumpkins that's like, 2 literal tons or whatever.
I don't think he could pull. He's very small. I don't think he's that strong.
No. He can pull us and a giant pumpkin and okay, fair enough. We might need to get the horse involved as well.
Yeah, maybe. I
have a vision. You're like a vision that it'll stay in your mind, Liz. That's never going to happen.
So cute to think about because he's just so cute. Yeah, the pod donkey. It's funny to call him that, but
you know how we have a mascot that's a donkey?
That's a donkey, yeah.
Whenever people ask me about you, I'm like, well, she has a pet donkey. That's what I lead with.
Very unique trait.
Yeah.
Yes.
You probably don't know anyone that has a donkey, but she does.
I do have a pet donkey.
Okay, should we try another snack item?
So we have another Kit Kat, although I think this might just be white chocolate, but this is Breaking Bones.
I had to get it because it was called Breaking Bones and it had a skeleton on it.
And it does have white cream in addition to the white chocolate covering. So maybe also, I don't know why, but the pumpkin pie Kit Kats were like much littler. Yeah, the pumpkin pie ones are just the one half of
They're tiny, and the Breaking Bones, you get the 2 that you can actually snap apart for whatever reason.
So crisp wafers in white cream is what this is called.
Breaking Bones.
Has a skeleton on it.
I like the skeleton graphic.
Yeah, this is just a white chocolate Kit Kat. It's good.
Okay, well, yeah, kind of boring. I wish it could be bone-shaped, maybe.
Oh, why didn't they do that? I guess they'd probably have to get, like, a whole new warehouse.
Yeah, they'd need, like, a new mold and blah, blah, blah. They're like, no, just make it white. Tell kids they're cracking people's bones. Yeah, it's fine. I don't know. 3 out of 5 Robert Stacks.
Yeah, it's just a white chocolate Kit Kat.
Yeah, nothing too special about that. Okay. While I'm chewing, Mary Jean asks, what is something from the 90s that you really wish was still a thing?
This is such a good question. I'm going to let you go first.
I'm going to go with, I wish TV shows still did like 22 episodes.
Yeah, that's a...
I wish TV shows stopped trying to be gigantic long movies and just were TV shows and made 22 episodes. Because I rewatched The Practice this year, and it was so nice to have so much shit to watch. And just like, oh, it's another week, it's another case. I don't know. Like, I kind of just miss that format of television.
Yeah.
So, and I know not everyone does. Rochelle was over here the other day, like, making fun of that and, like, how there would just be, like, random throwaway episodes that meant nothing. And I was like, no, I literally missed that. I saw someone on the internet talking about, like, how on the OC there was a whole episode about how Ryan really wanted to play soccer. And then it just, like, never came up again. Like, it was just a total... And I was like, yes, I miss just that type of television. So that's what I'm going to pick, I think. I mean, obviously, Pogs. No, just kidding.
Beanie Babies.
I don't know why we got so into Pogs. Just anything you could collect that was, like, in multiples, we were like, give it to me.
Yeah.
The colors... The world is much less colorful.
Yeah, it's all about minimalism and
blah, boring,
beige. And
even
white.
like McDonald's now is like, like a new McDonald's is like gray and a square.
Bring back the hamburger stools.
Yes, okay, absolutely. I don't even really like McDonald's aside from the fries, but I am so nostalgic, weirdly nostalgic for like all of that McDonald land,
the hamburger jail.
Yes. We didn't even go to the McDonald's that much when I was a kid.
No, we didn't either, but I feel you. I
it just seems like a very like
in the
happy,
little play area. Yes.
pure thing to be like, he's a mayor and he has a hamburger for his head, and his term of service is 1,000 years. He will always reign in McDonald Land.
Yes.
And so definitely bring back the hamburger stools. And just color in general. I feel like everybody's house.
Gel pens. I feel like I'd bring back gel pens. I realize they're still a thing, but like, I don't know if there was something about.
We were really excited about it though.
Yeah, about how excited we were about gel pens.
And it's not true for everybody. It definitely wasn't like a better time.
No, certainly not.
But in some ways, maybe a simpler time.
Sure.
There was just less going on, at least that you were aware of.
Well, yeah, when you weren't doom scrolling every day.
Right. So you could just be excited about gel pens for a while in a way that I'm not sure if something new like that was out that you would care for more than like 5 seconds,
right.
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 And you're going, Liz, you're an adult now. It's like, I know. I don't know what the difference is. It's hard to tell what is the like time in history and what is the time of in my life. But yeah, it does seem like, I don't know. And yeah, things just lasted a lot longer for better or worse.
Mm-hmm. I want to go to a book fair. They probably still have those in schools.
Okay,
like,
fucking Borders. I would sell my soul to bring Borders
spend
back.
A day at Borders.
Yes. I probably spent 10% of my life in a Borders.
Yes,
and I loved every
second.
second.
In the Maplewood Mall, and we would go all the time.
we spent so much time. I feel like part of the problem with their business was that people spent so much time there and didn't really buy anything. Not me, man. I spent every cent I ever got my hands on, went right to Borders.
Yeah.
Just waiting. Everything cost $17. So just getting up to $17 so you could buy a book or a CD or a movie.
Yep.
And what else did I need? And every so often I'm very nostalgic about this, and someone's like, well, they just pushed out like the small cool bookstores. And I was like, okay, but we didn't have that in my town.
No, same.
So we had a stupid Crown Books, which is also a corporate chain.
Yeah.
But it also had nothing. So the fact that they pushed them out of business, I can't say that I care.
There's, I don't know if it's in the same spot, but there's a Barnes & Noble there now, or there used to be a Borders, and it's not the same.
It's not the same. And there's not as many of those anymore either.
True.
I don't know. Bring it back. One night I couldn't sleep, and I sat down and like did a map of my hometown Borders, and I could remember basically where everything was. That's just going to be in my brain forever, clearly.
Yeah.
So I think I would bring that back. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know what else I would bring back. How do you feel about like a Blockbuster? Would you bring back Blockbuster?
The thing is, I miss that.
Maybe not at the expense of streaming, but like just the experience of walking through the store and like deciding what you want
I have
to watch.
these giant earrings. I was wearing them yesterday that are like pink Blockbuster cards. And it's weird. It's weird because at the time I was always like, "Oh my god, fucking Blockbuster! Like I hate you," because they never had what I wanted.
No.
They were literally sued because their late fees were so fraudulent, and they were charging people late fees that you didn't really accrue, right?
I think I'm more talking about the experience, versus
right? Like
the
was
company.
it like a horrible company? Yes. Do I miss going there? Also, yes, because it was just fun to wander around with your friends. You would go there wanting to rent some movie. Obviously, that was out. So then you're just wandering around going like, oh, God, what are we going to watch instead? And there's something about that I just do really miss. And just the random stuff you would end up watching. And sometimes you would find something that was great, or you would just make fun of something that was terrible.
Or you would rent the same movie until your mom literally told you, I will never rent that movie again.
Yeah. Yeah. And then like my brother would always try to watch something like as many times as he could before he would return it to get like his money's worth. So he would watch something like back to back, or he would wake up to watch it again before noon.
I love that.
To like, it's like, we only have this for this limited amount of time, right? Like it just made it a little bit more special and a little bit more precious.
It did make it. I think that's what I'm thinking of. Is it did make it more special.
Which
and
now
you whole experience.
Now you just like, well, I could watch anything at any time, and you're just like, ho hum. I don't know.
Yes,
but like
definitely.
actually like going with
Yeah, because the thing you want might not be there, so you might not get to watch it. You have to end up with some other random thing. It was a whole experience.
Yeah, I went so often with our resident librarian, Megan, and we would like, pick up Chinese food and then watch some Christopher Walken movie and like, that turns out that like that was the best time. And it seems like very commonplace then,
Right.
but you look back on it and you're like, oh man, that was so good.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I would bring that back. I'm not sure you can really capture that again.
Yeah.
But I do miss the video store experience. I miss like talking to the clerks that were like huge film nerds and like, you know, them complaining about like what the store stocked or them giving you like tips of like, oh, you have to see Maximum Overdrive. They run over a kid's head with a steamroll, you know, just like
Yeah.
stuff like that. And there was a rumor that they had like porn under the counter. I don't think that was true because I'm pretty sure that's just like employee stuff. I don't think there's room for like a whole porn section.
How would
under...
you know what to ask for?
You just walk up and you go, porn, please.
Give me a porn. Give me
some
one porn.
I don't
They
think that
reach
was
down
true.
and blindly pull something out.
Yeah. It's like, well, I hope you're into this because that's what's in stock. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Nostalgia.
The 90s. I mean, I think in some ways you can like, you know, I'll be picking up those caboodles at the thrift store forever,
Sure,
but
sure.
you can never really go back.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And also then you like tons of stuff about it was shitty. Like
Yes.
it's shocking to
Yes.
remember how openly sexist and homophobic and
yeah.
racist people were just like all the time. The stuff people said to me as a little kid,
Yes.
to look back on and be like, why was some old man saying all this sexist things to me when I was a girl and also like 7, right? You look back and you're like, no one would do that now. Or it would be much rarer, and it was very common at the time.
Yeah, definitely.
So it was definitely not all good, but those McNuggets that you could change the different clothes on, I mean, those were solid.
Exactly.
So those plastic nuggets. It's so funny to me to see like stuff we really thought of as like junk in the 90s now seems like well made because stuff is made like so much worse. Like
True.
cheap clothes from the 90s, if you see them at the thrift store, still look like pretty much the same.
Mm-hmm.
But everything from like, you know,
Just
fast
garbage.
fashion stuff is just going to dissolve in the wash. Like,
Just
is anything going to be left from now to like it'll be left in the way that it's pollution, but I don't feel like it'll be left in the way that it's usable.
No, you won't be able to like, find it at a thrift store.
Because it's just going to dissolve into nothing.
Yeah. Would you bring back the purple ketchup?
Oh my God.
Was that
no.
from the 90s or the 2000s?
It was like right on that cusp. I don't, that's kind of gross. I realize they dye it red anyway, so it doesn't really matter, but
Something about the purple.
there was a green too.
Yes,
there
I
was
do
like a
remember the
Shrek
green.
ketchup.
Yep.
That doesn't sit well with me. What about those macaroni and cheeses that were different colors? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
That's also like,
I mean, it
I don't
tasted
know.
the same, right? But like, yeah, it was weird looking, unappetizing.
and then you just realize like, oh, that's not orange from cheese. That's just literal food dye.
Yeah, they just used a different color dye
And actually nothing is. Now this is
because
like
it tastes exactly the same.
just poison you're eating, really. But see, I don't know. We didn't worry so much about stuff like that then.
We did not.
We were just like eating Doritos and drinking that like colored, not juice, that colored thing in like a clear. Do you know what I'm talking about? It's like a drink for kids that came in an unlabeled clear plastic thing with a foil top.
Yes.
And it was just
We
it
got
was
that
like,
at school.
like juice.
Yes.
But it's just like sugar dyed water.
Yes.
That had literally no nutritional value whatsoever.
Yeah, you peel back the foil.
You peel
It's a
back
little-
the foil and you drink your little like
like a pudding cup.
melted
almost. Yeah.
Jolly Rancher or whatever the hell was in there. Yeah, I don't know. You definitely, I think a parent being like, oh no, my kid doesn't eat sugar. Like, you would have been a freak.
It was funny how obsessed with making us drink milk our parents were, but then like also gave us that. Which
that's
I realized
true.
that was just big milk, right? Saying that
Yeah, it
you know,
turns
your
out
kid's
milk's not
bones
that
will turn
good
to
for you,
dust if
yeah.
you don't drink 16 glasses of milk a day. But
All those got milk ads
Yeah.
and yeah.
but yeah, we drank so much milk.
Yeah, it turns out you can get like calcium and protein from, I don't even think it's that good of a source of
Vegetables. Yeah.
calcium. Yeah. We were convinced that our bones, you were going to get osteoporosis if you didn't drink all that milk.
Yeah,
It turns out basically everything they told us is not true, which is kind of fascinating.
it is.
Like, why did I even go to school? It's all lies. Why did I bother? Okay, we have one last question, and it's a good one.
Okay.
This is also from Mary Jean. If we were going to make a Perhaps It's You TV show, who would play Liz and who would play Samantha?
Oh, I'm not good at these types of questions. I'm going to leave this one up to you.
Okay. I obviously want to be played by either Christina Ricci or Kristen Ritter.
Okay.
Are those flattering comparisons? Absolutely, and I still demand them. Kristen Ritter also is so funny. I wish she was in more comedic roles, so I definitely want her. I would love for her to play me.
Who would you cast as me?
Who is gonna play you though?
Who is the actress that plays the blonde woman on Riverdale? I feel like she kind of looks like me.
That's true. Yeah, that's Lily Reinhart.
She's pretty.
She's very pretty. And I could ask her lots of questions about Riverdale.
Yeah.
So that would be great. Let's get her. I think it would be hilarious if you were played by Emma Roberts, even though that's not your energy at all. But no one says the word bitches better.
I'm for it.
So yeah. I think that would be really good too. I mean, literally the only connection is that she's blonde and calls people bitches. But
would we need someone to play Robert Stack?
Oh my God, I don't know who that would be.
I don't know either.
Who? Okay, let us know, listeners. Who would be a good?
You should do your fantasy.
Robert Stack.
Perhaps it's you, the TV show casting. I'm not sure what the plot of this TV show.
Well, that was the next question. What would be the episodic plot structure? Like every episode, do you solve a mystery? Do you shut down some problematic misogynist? What would
I like the idea of solving a mystery, like Nancy Drew style.
I think we would have a podcast on the show, but the podcast would end up with us solving the mysteries
that are in the episode.
Yeah. Somehow we would be able to do that locally.
And then we would also do it maybe very like Ladies from the Keeper style, where we'd be like offering
crab cakes
or like snack. Like we're going around offering novelty snacks to people to get them to talk.
Maybe we could do some of the stuff we do, but we end up solving crimes. Like we're like, oh, we're on the trolley tour at the cemetery. Oh my God, a dead body. We've got to solve this murder. You know, like Miss Marple style. Wherever we go, we end up solving a mystery.
Yes, I like this.
I think that would be great. I think Tim Heidecker is going to play Mac
every day. Who'd play Mac?
Tim Heidecker.
Okay. Oh, definitely.
He's a little older, but it's fine.
Whatever.
That would work pretty well. And Lenny and Curtis will play themselves.
Yep.
Good luck with it. Good luck training them to do anything. I kind of love this. I kind of wish it was real.
I do too.
I want the money from it. I want to watch it. It sounds pretty good. I want to hear Emma Roberts as you being like, "Good morning, sluts. It's time for perhaps it's you."
Okay, that's how I'm gonna start every episode now. Good morning, sluts.
Good morning, sluts. Listen up, bitches. It's time for perhaps it's you. Oh my God, so good. So good.
I love this. My dream would be that every episode we solve a lost love.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if the viewers want that.
We could fit some in, though. That could sometimes be the mystery.
Fair.
Is that there'd be an old lady that's like, where's the boy that took me to prom?
And his name
was Jeff. That's all I remember.
She can't use the internet, so she needs our help.
Well, yeah, and she doesn't have enough, like, details for Google, so we have to,
solve it.
We have to go, find the yearbook, and then...
Yes.
And then it turns out Jeff is, a swindler. He's become a sweetheart swindler.
Sweetheart swindler.
And we have to stop him before she finds him. This is actually, a pretty good plot.
I really like this. Let's do it.
So we're like, oh no, we found Jeff, but he's a sweetheart swindler, and
so we can't introduce them.
Yes. So then we have to get a fake Jeff so that she gets the reunion, but it's actually not real. Because her memory is slipping and she won't know. Oh my God! It writes itself! Get us a meeting! Kristen Ritter, what are you up to?
Give us a call.
Yes, I am that.
Give us a call.
I am that tall. I'm literally a supermodel sitting here.
Well, you can be if you're casting yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
I'm gonna get all my Riverdale questions answered. This is gonna be great.
Yes.
I mean, and Riverdale only has one more season, so when they're done with that,
Lily,
you got time. You're gonna be free for this new project.
Perhaps it's a podcast TV show.
Yeah, which is like us, but Miss Marple.
Yeah. I like it.
Oh, that's such a good question to end on, and now I'm a little bit sad that it's not real.
Well, let's cheer you up by having a pumpkin spice Oreo.
Because if this existed, we could get BD Wong to do a cameo.
Yes.
And maybe Gordon Ramsay.
Okay, we might be pushing our luck, but we can always try.
This is in my mind. Netflix is throwing some real money into this show.
Yes.
And they will pay him to just come on and be like, come in, yell at my kitchen and call you darling. Because I feel like he calls every woman darling.
Yeah.
And then Samantha faints.
And that's the whole episode.
And then it's like shows me and him talking about food, and it kind of like fades out while you're just like passed out on the floor. Yeah. Okay, hand me one of these Oreos, please. Okay, so these are also pumpkin spice. These are like the blonde Oreo cookie, not the chocolate Oreo cookie, which disappoints me.
So maybe I'm just so used to getting the thins, but are they increasing the amount of cream in Oreos?
This does look like a lot of cream.
I recently got the Neapolitan Oreos, and it was fine, but the amount of cream in those things was like too much.
Okay, I prefer the Milano.
I'm not a fan of those.
And there's really no spice. It's just sweet.
It's flavorless sweetness.
Yeah, I'm not into this. I'm giving this maybe a 2.
It doesn't even taste like pumpkin.
No. It doesn't taste like a pie. It doesn't... It's just sweet. There's really nothing... I can't recommend that.
I don't like it.
Thumbs down.
No, get the Milanos instead.
Okay, what was your favorite item that we tasted today?
It's really close between the Milano and the pumpkin pie Kit Kat. But I think the Milano,
I'm going
because
with
it
Milano.
has chocolate. I think I agree with you. I like that there's still chocolate in it. And I like the cookie.
So I would give those 5 out of 5. Thumbs up, Rubber Stacks. That's a phrase. Sure.
5 out of 5 thumbs up, Robert Stacks.
Yeah, that's when it's really good. This is what I would recommend. They say limited edition on them. I don't know how true that is. I mean, I suppose they're only here this time of year. I got these at Target, so... You know, I like to shop local. So I went to that giant evil behemoth that happens to be located here. This was really fun.
It was fun.
It's nice to just chat and eat snacks.
And not have to really do any work.
I know. Why couldn't have this been our podcast? People are like, we never would have listened to that. The Liz and Samantha show. 2 people you've never heard of. Chilling. And yeah.
No, I think they probably tune in for the Unsolved Mysteries content. But thank you for the really thoughtful questions.
But then we slip in some other stuff. Yeah. Yes, these were very nice questions. And I do wish the TV show was real. And I'm sorry we're not real witches. And I don't think you'll ever hear Travis's voice because he'll never stop working to be on the podcast. But,
true.
You know, we can dream.
True.
Okay, thanks, everyone.
Thanks.
Thanks, sluts. Keep barking.
Bye.